Hi folks, how you doing? WrestleTrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box. Mind, body, spirit, fitness. Putting the healing back in health. Once again, when you're at the website, sign up for the newsletter. Get your free downloads, setting goals, fitness, and nutrition. Follow them on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. Coming at you today with week 2 vlog of my half Ironman training. So that would be last week. So what happened? I went on the big 28-mile bike ride with my boss again, and I had talked about in week 1 about my downfall was staying in dorsiflexion, I think, when I was cycling. And when I did that, the next day after I ran, my toes on my left side were really jacked up, right? And they were really jacked up. Like, they hurt for a long time. Even just walking around at work, they hurt badly sometimes with a lot of pivoting and things like that. So when we went on our bike ride 2 days ago on a Saturday, no, it was Sunday. So today's Tuesday. So it was Sunday. And yeah, I kept my toes just forward a little bit like I told you, right here, right? When I was pedaling and pulling up. And then one thing my boss told me that I think worked out very well, besides I don't have the endurance in my legs. I have a lot of lactic acid buildup. Because like they said, you should be pulling while you're pushing. I just focused on the pulling because like my boss said, your brain's already trained to go forward, right? Your brain is already trained to push down, to push down, to push down. So just focus on pulling up the whole time. So that's all I did. And actually the next day, as of right now, 3 days later, my foot didn't hurt at all. So I think that helped. Keeping your foot a little bit forward, maybe on your toes a little bit or the ball of your foot, and not like this, not pedaling like that. Even just doing that puts a lot of stress right here, which is right where, if these were my toes, all the pain was right here. And just going like that puts a lot of tension in that area. So that was the number one thing. So we did our 28-mile bike ride. I swam 17 laps in the pool at once. Took me about 20 minutes, back and forth. I worked on my flip turn, whatever they call that, off of the wall. And I was talking with my boss about it, and he's like, yeah, it's cool, but I don't like doing it. He said, I do it, but I don't kick off of the wall, because in reality, when you're out there racing, you don't get to kick off of a wall. So why would you kick off of a wall while you're at the pool, right? Because it is going to give you a couple extra feet, yards, whatever, seconds, because you're pushing, and you're not going to get that. So that made me think, I better think about that too. So today when I swam, I didn't do the kick turn this time. But in reality, when I go, stop, touch the wall, it's that equivalent. I'm not going to be able to get that small break when I do that. So it's something we've got to think about. Let's see, I did some sprint work, but my foot was still killing me that week. Last week it was. This week is feeling pretty good. So yeah, overall, I think it was a good week. I started doing a lot more ab work, and that's just because I messed up my hip deadlifting like a year and a half ago, and it still messes with me to this day. But that's because I'm just lazy and I don't stretch and foam roll and do all my corrective exercises to fix the situation. So this past week I decided to start doing that, more abs, more hips, more glute work, and it's starting to get better in that aspect. So and let's see what else. I think that's it. I felt good in my swim. The one thing I'll say is I found out, for me, I just have horrible shoulder flexibility, which is why I have to work on my shoulder flexibility. And I've just noticed if you kind of push through the pain, and it's just me, like I don't have any tears, rotator cuff issues, just the longer I swim, it starts to go away. The pain will eventually go away. It's the equivalent when I first start my swim. I swim really fast. I have trouble with a nice, slow, steady pace. So once I start to get winded, then I slow down, and then I settle in, and I feel really good when I settle in. So I did 17 laps last week. I think that was actually Saturday before I had to go to the church to do our corned beef and cabbage for St. Patrick's Day. But so that was good. Trying to do a lot more foam rolling for my quads because that's a part of the low back issue as well. So a lot of stretching, a lot of foam rolling. I'm just trying to clean up the diet again. I've still been struggling, but other than that, I think things are great. What else did I learn? So my foot was hurting. I was watching some videos, and they talked about, I don't have my shoes on me, do I don't have my shoes on me, but I was watching a video, and they were talking about the cleat on your shoe being in the correct spot. And once again, I think a very important thing is, proprioception, right? Proprioception. All that means is being aware of what your body is doing within the environment. So it's pretty much, like when you walk, does one leg swing funny, right? If so, that's probably going to be the side you have some pain on. Same thing, like when you're driving or you're watching TV or you're at the keyboard, right? You might have good posture, and then as the day goes, that head goes out and you're rounded and you're typing like this. So proprioception. Same thing when I'm biking. I make sure that I got my low back round, but I got my shoulders blades locked in together. But what he said was, he showed a video of where the pedal comes off of, I guess, the crankshaft or whatever it is. So here's the crankshaft, here's the pedal that comes off. And he had it to where the pedal or the end of that crankshaft should be right at the front of your shoe right here. But what I did was when I started pedaling, I could notice that maybe my cleat was a little further forward, too far forward, which had me more on my toes than on the ball of my foot. And that guy said in that video, if you do that, then you can have some calf issues, which of course we all know. A lot of these calf muscles, even the deep ones, come down in and connect into the foot, right? Or if your calf's tight, right? If your calf's up here and it's all tight and scrunching, then all of a sudden it's going to pull on that Achilles tendon, which comes down under the foot and then pulls on everything else. So one thing is just to be aware, sit on your bike, maybe kind of feel where your feet are and make sure that you've got even pressure on the balls of each foot. That was something that I noticed that might be an issue. And then what I started doing, worked on my, like I said, the flip turn. So I was watching another video, and the flip turn, the guy was just stand in the, in the shallow end of the pool and just jump and try to do a somersault. So I did that like 3 or 4 times. The first 3 or 4, I had so much water shooting my nose. I was burping water for a while. But that's what I did to work on my kick turn. By about the 4th or 5th one, kick turn was down. I was doing good. Besides on the deep end, I think I was going too deep. So when I kicked off, I was coming in here like this, boom, and then I was way down, and I had to float back up to go straight, which is kind of a pain, kind of gets you out of the flow. And then I'm really good when I swim. I just breathe every stroke. So I'm here, breathe, breathe. That's how I swim. Breathe, breathe. And so I've just been trying to work on, switching, or even trying to do multiples. So what I'll do is maybe 1 lap down doing that, and then on the way back I'll breathe regularly, trying to switch in and out of that. And then if you do that single breathing like that, I always try to make sure that I rotate every lap or something, just to keep my mind aware, because like they say, you can create an uneven stroke, maybe get a lot of neck issues if you keep going the same way. So I make sure that I go down 1 lap that way, 1 lap that way, just to try and even it out and not create any more muscle imbalances that I might already have. So I think that's it. That's all the different stuff I was looking into this week. Week 1, even though the boss said it really doesn't start till April 2nd, he keeps pushing it back. So I don't know, but this is week 2 of what happened. Today I had really great results, but I'll have to share that in next week's for week 3, because that's what I'm on, week 3. So once again, I hope this helps. If you're new to triathlon, hopefully it's going to help you hopefully be able to learn from my mistakes and not make these mistakes yourself. So once again, I hope this helps. Don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, share and like these videos.